publishers arranged it in A to Z form because after reading some of my writing samples, they weren't entirely sure I'd ever learned the alphabet to begin with. I don't know that for a fact, but I can confirm that nobody likes cancel culture. Nowhere in pop culture and not in either political party. But as you'll hear in this book, Republicans and Democrats have gone along with cancels over the years. Sometimes they rode that wave because it was helpful to their mission. Other times because they didn't want to disagree with the outrage mob and see their own careers die in a hail of tweets. This same logic is what ultimately drives executives at major corporations to give the mob what it wants by firing a celebrity. The menacing, omnipotent nature of social media storm clouds makes executives feel like it's a cancel or be canceled world. I was going to call it a dog-eat-dog world, but I'm a little sensitive to the idea of dog meat because I just ate a chicken kebab in Times Square. The point is, executives sometimes think that firing a celebrity will save their own ass. But cancels aren't confined to stars and politicians. You'll also come to see that they've consumed careers in every field, from zoo workers who trash their visitors on Facebook to security workers who posted their farts on Instagram. I'll wait right here while you look up his videos. Don't get me wrong, some cancels were necessary and even good for society. Talking to you, R. Kelly. But the vast majority of people whose careers were sentenced to death by digital firing squad lost it all for crimes that should have resulted in a much lighter penalty, if any penalty at all. Alas, they were on the wrong side of the keyboard cops in a slow news cycle, so away they went. The good news is some of the people who get canceled come back. The bad news is some of the people who get canceled come back. And if you don't believe me, you haven't seen Kathy Griffin's latest stand-up special. Kathy was famously canceled at the beginning of the Trump administration after she posted a picture with a plastic head in it. But enough about her face. If I have one goal for this book, it's to make sure you enjoy it so much you buy whatever ridiculous book I write next, regardless of how harsh those reviews happen to get. My second goal is to show you that nothing in our lives has been improved by the era of incentivized outrage. We're more agitated and politically divided, and, despite upending thousands of careers in the name of progress, nobody has anything to show for it beyond the cheap high from the digital dopamine we call likes. Which brings me to goal number 3. To end this book at a place where we can all agree it's time to stop empowering a movement whose biggest winners are a bunch of losers. I'm not saying we have to go full 1980s and let the kids run wild in the streets again. But we absolutely need to get back to a time when the world knew the difference between a joke and a hate crime. Because any society that can't take a joke is destined to become one. A is for award shows. Hollywood award shows used to get incredibly high ratings. But these days, the only thing high at the Oscars is Seth Rogen. Hey-o, I got 1 million of them, people. There was a time when the Academy Awards had 57 million of them, meaning viewers. The year was 1998. Titanic took home 11 awards, and Leonardo DiCaprio took home at least 11 supermodels. To be clear, I don't have the exact shag numbers for Leo's Titanic after party, but any way you slice it, somebody needs to slow that guy down or his heart won't go on. Other big winners in 98 included L.A. Confidential, Good Will Hunting, and As Good as It Gets, which it truly was in terms of ratings. The 70th Annual Academy Awards was the most watched Oscars telecast in history, but ever since they honored Titanic, celebrities have walked the red carpet while ratings have walked the plank. Viewership dipped by 18% for the following year's ceremony, with 45 million people tuning in to the 71st Annual Academy Awards. History will show that Shakespeare was in love, but America had put Oscar in the friend zone, with 12 million fewer viewers than the previous year's ceremony. If that weren't bad enough, the Oscars, which is traditionally the second most watched TV event of the year after the Super Bowl, finished third behind The Big Game and a Barbara Walters interview with Monica Lewinsky. Every TV insider in America assumed the Oscars would beat the Lewinskys, but in the end, all the Versace gowns in Tinseltown were no match for one blue dress in the Oval Office pantry. Oscars ratings began to fall because the Academy got away from nominating films that had huge box office success. But Hollywood's programming decisions during the tail end of the Clinton administration didn't hurt half as much as the political rage room that ensued after Donald Trump's election win. Let's start here. There's no denying the fact that Trump's victory was a huge upset, and not just in Hollywood, but everywhere else.